Bonjour. Bonjour.
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Battlestar Galactica Season 4, Episode 5. Today I'm gonna watch 4 episodes of the show. During this video, you're gonna see 2 episodes of the show. You know the rule with Battlestar Galactica, how I'm functioning. You have the intro and review part just right there on the YouTube video, and the reaction part on the description. It's not something that I like to do, but it's something that the owners of the show are forcing me to do. So it's like that. I'm sorry for that, but that's the only way that I found to give you reaction videos about this show, because I wanted to watch it, because I love it, and because I thought that my reactions were interesting enough to make reaction videos, because I'm reacting a lot, because I'm fully involved into the show now, since the season 1, because I love the characters, I care for them, I cry for them, and also because I'm making a lot of series about the show. I'm really trying to understand it. So far, I never had spoilers about the show, about what was gonna happen into the show, and I hope that it's gonna stay like that until the end, really. Please continue to be careful and to be kind, on the comments by not telling me any spoilers. Again, so far, you are succeeding so well, and when some of you are telling spoilers, really, the other ones are warning me on Twitter about it, like at minute 2, and that's so kind of you to think about me, so thank you about that. About what happened during the last episodes, I really thought, that I was safe when I binge-watched the 4 first episodes of this season 4, even if it was the final season. I really thought that I was gonna be safe, like that's it, that's the 4 first episodes. They're gonna present us, the new issues for the characters. They're gonna present us what we're gonna have to deal with during this season, and I was right for the 2 first episodes. But the 2 last ones, the episode 3 and the episode 4, I did not handle them well. The first one, the episode 3, if you didn't see my reaction video about these 2 episodes, I'm gonna put the link, if you want to see it, my reactions about it. But really, the episode where we lost Kali, I did not handle this episode well, not at all, because of the fact that we lost Kali, and I loved her character, so I'm sad that we lost her. And especially into these conditions, the fact that she wanted to kill herself because she discovered that her husband was a Cylon, and she thought that everything that she lived with him was a lie, that their love was a lie, that he manipulated her, that, all of that, and she wanted to kill herself and also to kill her son, her kid. And she was ready to do it, really close to do it, and just the fact that she thought about it, it's breaking my heart. So the fact that she was almost doing it, that's even more heartbreaking for me. And I was like, okay, Tori succeeded, to tell her to not do it, but you saw my reactions. You saw that at the minute that Tori said to Kali, "Give me Nick," that's it. I knew that she was gonna kill Kali, because Kali knew the truth and was not handling the truth well. So she was not gonna take the risk, to have Kali maybe telling the truth to everyone. So I knew that she was gonna kill her, and that broke me, because I knew it, and I understand the reasons for why Tori did that. But really, if you're thinking about Kali, how Kali was feeling at that moment, she died in... She didn't have, an honorable death. She didn't die in battle, in combat. She died thinking that, all of her life was a lie, that all of, you know, the love relationship that she had with the chief was a lie, that all of this family that she built with him was a lie. After being violent with the chief, after taking meds like that and breaking herself like that, I am not gonna cry. But you know, that's really heartbreaking to know that she died thinking all of that about herself, about the chief, about all of her life. That's not an honorable death for her because she was killed by Tori, but no one is gonna know that because they didn't put any camera. And the lack of security into that ship, I'm really mad. Really, you're not putting camera into the dangerous places of your ship, into the jail. I already said it a lot. I'm seeing it since episode. During that episode where something happened into the jail and no one knew because they didn't put any camera into it, at that moment I already said that there was a lack of security into Galactica and they didn't hear me at all. They didn't put any camera nowhere, you know. So yes, she was killed and no one is gonna know that she was killed, and everyone thinks that she killed herself. I mean, they were right, she was this close to kill herself, but that's not an honorable death, and she died thinking all of that. That's so heartbreaking, really, for me. Even now, when I'm remembering it, see, I have trouble to talk because it's still heartbreaking for me, and to say goodbye to this character in these conditions, you know, circumstances, that was hard. And what happened during the episode 4? The chief disappointed me so much. And I had this conversation with some of you on the comments, the fact that maybe he was not thinking all of what he said, you know, he was saying all of that because he was feeling guilty about losing Kali, about her killing herself because of him in some way, and maybe he was also angry about it again for himself and about her, what she did, you know, abandoning him like that and abandoning Nick. I understand all of that, all of these reasons, but again, it can't be good excuses for what he said, and it can't justify the anger and the hate that he put into these words about her. I'm not even thinking, you know, about the fact that he was not a good husband and he was not a good father, and he's continuing to be not a good father for Nick during this episode 4, because for that, you know, I can really think and understand and also agree with the fact that learning that he's a silent can disturb him that much, that he's so focused on himself that he can't think about the other ones, and that's why he was not a good husband and he is not a good father. I can understand that, but talking like that to Kali and during the episode 4 about Kali, he didn't say just like, oh, she was a bitch, I don't like her. No, he didn't say that. He said that she was stupid, that she was awful, that she was the second option, you know, that he had because he didn't have Boomer. He said so many wrong stuff and deep stuff, you know. It was coming not just from his anger and his guilt and all of that. No, it was deeper than that. It was like stuff that he wanted to say since years, months, and that he never said before. I can never forget what he did, and he has to work hard now for having my forgiveness about what he said about Kali. And that's really bad because he was one of my favorite characters with Hilo and Starbuck and Lee. The chief was one of my favorite characters. So to have such disappointment about him, it's really bad for me, you know, for my appreciation of him and also of the show, because I have the impression that the writers want me to dislike him. The writers are working hard also since episodes now to create some disappointments about the chief, like during the last season, at the end of the last season, we had moments where the chief was a little racist, you know, with these persons who were not taking the meds, you know, because of that virus and all of that. He said some racist stuff that I didn't like. And we had him also, I don't remember, but you know, saying wrong stuff, and I was already like, I don't like that, but okay, you're one of my favorite characters, I can forget and forgive, you know, that's it, I'm not gonna dislike you because of just some things that you said. But right there, you know, it was an accumulation of stuff, and I was beginning to, you know, to change my mind about him, but I was still loving him. But these two episodes together, you know, it was almost like the writers telling me, you can't love him anymore. See who he is and what he's doing. I think that it can be explained also by the fact that we discovered that he was a Cylon, and maybe they're trying really to break our opinion about the chief, Anders, the colonel and Tori. They are really trying to make stuff with them and to make evolutions for these characters, but bad evolutions, you know, something to really appreciate the fact that they are different from the other ones on the Galactica. I think that there is something right there, you know, in the way of writing the show, with the choices made to really provoke that thing, you know, that breakup with the rest of the Galactica, for at the end making us love them again, proving us that in fact they are just like the other ones on the Galactica and we still love them. Do you understand what I mean? I think that they are trying to make us not like them anymore, to after that making us love them again, to really provoke that into our minds, the fact that they are Cylons, we are discovering that, and we are not liking them because of them discovering that and changing because of that, but then they're gonna evolve and we're gonna evolve with them and we're gonna accept them again. And it's also a way to explore one subject and to talk about one subject, you know, the acceptance of the persons who are different. Do you understand what I mean? I think that they are playing with that. But for me, if they are playing with that, these choices that they made with the chief went too far, in my opinion, because, you know, they are doing the same with Tori, and they are not going too far with that. We can really see an evolution with her. We can also be like, I don't like her anymore, but then maybe we're gonna like her again. But for the chief, they went too far. For me, they went too far. Maybe because I was putting him right here and he fall right here, and Tori, she was just right here and fall right here. Maybe it's because of that, you know, it's because of my difference, you know, of feelings, I don't know how to say it in another way, of love for these two characters. Because of this difference, I'm not appreciating the difference that they are making on the show on the same way, maybe. I already talked a lot, no? Yes. I'm gonna stop right now and let's go for this episode. Oh, and yes, I have my Jurassic Park shirt. Don't judge me, you know, it's Sunday, so I'm really in a comfy clothes, something like that. That book is really reminding me, I think that it's La Pitié. In French it's La Pitié. I'm gonna search in English what is it. That's it. It's not La Pitié, it's Euripide. I'm gonna search for that. Okay, it was not La Pitié. I'm gonna put there the translation of it. It's the character of Cassandra into Greek mythology. Apollo gave her the power of seeing the future, but also because of the fact that she's not accepting, you know, to love Apollo, is also decreting that no one is gonna believe into her predictions, even if she's seeing the truth. And it's really like into that play or mythology, it's really like she knows the truth. She knows what is gonna be the future. All of her predictions are the truth, but she can't convince anyone of that. She can't convince anyone of the fact that she's telling the truth, and she's going crazy because of that, and people are seeing her like a crazy person because they are all believing that all of what she said is wrong, and they are seeing her as someone crazy, and the fact that they are not believing her, that's making her crazy because she knows that she's saying the truth. And it's really, you know, psychological thing about her character, about Cassandra, and I thought a lot about that during this episode about Starbuck, the fact that she knows that what she said is the truth, she knows that she wants to Earth, but she has trouble to convince people about it, and at the end no one is believing into her, no one is following her, and she can't convince them. No matter what she's saying, she's not gonna convince them about what she saw and what she thinks and knows that this is the truth. Do you understand why I thought about that character during this episode about Starbuck? I really think that because of the fact that they are, you know, working hard on Greek mythologies into the show, and you know, all of these things about their gods which are based on Greek gods and all of that, I think that maybe they worked on that thing, you know, on Cassandra, on the character of Cassandra, to write Starbuck for this episode and for this season. And the thing about Apollo, I didn't remember that, but the fact that Apollo gave her that power and also that malediction because of the fact that she refused to love him, the fact that the surname of Lee is Apollo, that's killing me. But I really think that there is something there, you know, that the writer were inspired by that character, by Cassandra, to write Starbuck for this season. Leo Ben, I really don't like his character, and you know, I know that there is a contradiction, you know, in me with the fact that I don't like him and I almost hate him for what he did to Starbuck on New Caprica. I can never forget and forgive that. The fact that he put her in jail, he kept her in that jail to force her to love him. He lied to her by telling her that this little girl was her kid. I'm sorry for my hair, they are really a mess today. You know, he lied to her, he forced her, he kept her in jail. No, I can't like him. But on the other hand, I believe him. I believe that he's telling the truth right there, that there is a truth that the hybrid needs to say to Starbuck. The fact that they're not gonna attack Starbuck if she's going to their ship. But I think also that the hybrid, you know, on Razor, told us, the viewers, that Starbuck was gonna be the angel of death and was gonna lead the human race, you know, to their destruction. And if she's meeting that hybrid, you know, that new hybrid, but you know, they are all the same by the fact that they are all seeing the future and all of that. If this hybrid is telling her the same, or maybe, you know, I don't think that the hybrids can lie. I don't think so. I think that they can't lie. Even if the hybrid is telling her the truth about where Earth is, this hybrid is not gonna tell her that by leading them to Earth, she's gonna lead them to their destruction. Or maybe she's gonna say it also. We don't know and we don't care because of the fact that they're not gonna go to that base ship because Ilo took the control of the ship of the Demetrius. And I can't blame him for that, for taking that decision, because we know that Ilo, you know, the main thing which is really representing his character since the beginning is the fact that he's always trying to do stuff right and to do the right stuff. Right there it was about that, you know, it was about protecting his people, about not doing the crazy stuff, like following what Cylon was saying. So he didn't do that to hurt her or to just have powers or stuff like that. No, it was not about that. And I really think that Hilo is Starbuck's best friend, because I don't consider that Lee is like that. Lee is her soulmate. But Hilo, since the beginning, we saw moments, you know, with these two characters talking to each other about deep subjects and about important stuff in their lives. So I really think that Hilo is like the best friend of Starbuck. So for him to take that decision and for her seeing her best friend taking that decision, that was and that's gonna be so hard for their relationship, but also for the future, you know, because she's gonna feel betrayed a lot, and he's gonna feel like he betrayed her but he was forced to do it. That's gonna be hard. But are they gonna really go back to the Galactica, you know, just like that? I'm not sure of it. I think that something is gonna happen to stop them. At least now they know that the resurrection ship was destroyed because of that intern fight, you know. I didn't know that it was the last one, the last resurrection ship. I'm glad, I have to say it, I'm glad about that news. The Chief, for sure, is lost. That was something that we already saw during the 2 last episodes. For sure, he's feeling guilty about Kali's death, but he doesn't know that she knew that he was a Cylon. He thinks that she killed herself because of the fact that she was an awful husband at the end. I was gonna say, maybe you can feel guilty about that. I'm sorry, but he can't. He's lost, he's totally lost with the fact that he's feeling guilty, with the fact that he's feeling angry. I have trouble to forgive him because I have the impression that, okay, he's regretting what he did to her, but he still said that about her. And he's still not a good father for Nick. And all of his anger and all of his hate and all of his guiltness and all of that is dealing with that really bad. I cannot blame him for that, but he's choosing to go to see what Gaius is saying for fighting Gaius, but on the other hand he really wanted to hear what Gaius could say. At the end he's shaking hands with Gaius. I'm not sure that he's really converted to Gaius' religion. Gaius opens the door just right there for maybe converting the Chief at some point, and because of the fact that he's the president of the Union, it can be great for Gaius to have a person, you know, with that position converted to his religion. I'm not mad at the Chief because of that, but because of the fact that it's another proof of the fact that he's totally lost and he's not trying to get better. He's just, you know, hanging up to the wrong stuff, to the wrong feelings, to the wrong emotions, but also to the wrong persons, to the wrong stuff, you know. I know that some people are feeling better when they are living bad stuff because of religion, because they find faith in some stuff, but I don't think that it can repair the bad that happened to you. You know, in my personal life, I don't think so. I think that it can be great for these persons to find peace in religion if they need to for some times, but I don't think that it can really fully and at the end, you know, repair what they did wrong or what they felt or stuff like that. You know, I think that it's also a work that you have to do on yourself, and the Chief doesn't want to do that work, and that's why I have trouble to forgive him, because he doesn't seem to want to work on what happened on him. I was feeling bad for him during this episode to see his pain like that, but I said it, he has to work hard for making me forgive him for what he said about Kylie. That was so hard, that was so unforgivable. Okay, I'm gonna see the next episode right now. For you, it's on the reaction part, and let's go for this episode 6. I had trouble to 6. Let's go. What about them coming back to the fleet with Gaeta to save Gaeta? I wouldn't accept for Gaeta to die. Not like that. Again, I know that during this final season we have to lose people, and we already lost Kylie. But I'm not okay. I mean, I'm okay with losing people because I know that we have to. This is the final season and all of that. But I'm not okay with losing them in bad circumstances like that. Like, I don't mean bad because they're dying. I mean bad like it's not what they deserve. If they have to die, not like that. Scully, she didn't deserve that. Her character didn't deserve to die like that. And same for Gaeta. Not because they chose to wait and to let him hurt like that in his bed all alone. No. I'm not gonna hear it again now. The hybrid told Starbuck that she was gonna lead them to their destruction. If this thing is not making Starbuck think a little about what she's doing and the fact that maybe she's not doing things right, falling into a trap that the silence made with her, brainwashed her, or something like that, she has, to question herself. After hearing that, what the hybrid said, she has to question herself and what she's doing. The hybrid talked also about the 5 silence coming from the home of the 13th. They all interpreted that as the 13th tribe. I'm not sure of that. I don't know why, but now I'm thinking of a 13th silent, the home of the 13th. If it's what I think the home of the 13th silent can be Earth or okay, but it would mean, it can work, with my theory about one of the silent being there since the beginning, because this silent has the mind of the one who created all of the silence. I mean, all of the human silence. I think that it's Gaius. I'm searching why it can't work, this theory. Why I would be wrong with that. Because of the fact that they keep saying that Gaius is mortal, or because of the fact that they keep saying since the beginning that we have 12 silence. They are saying it, all of the characters, but also, they are saying it, they are writing it into the opening credit each time that we have 12 silence. But do I have to believe that? I saw that as a fact that we have 12 silent models since the beginning because of them writing that on the opening credit. Maybe they lied. Do you understand what I mean? It's almost like that kind of movie where you are searching for who killed that person during all along the movie, and at the end, in fact, the person was not killed. It was a trap to see how you were gonna react, how you were gonna confess stuff that you did wrong and all of that. I really have trouble to think that this is the home of the 13th tribe. Because of the way that this sentence, was built. It was built talking about the 5 silents who are following, or I don't know the verb, the home of the 13th. For me, it implies the 13th silent because they were talking about the 5 silents before that. Do you understand what I mean? And it would be logical, in fact, the fact that since the beginning we are talking about 13 tribes and only 12 silent, I mean it's not logical, in fact, with the way that the silents were created, you know, to be in opposition, in parallel with that, with the number of tribes and planets. I'm really beginning to think that maybe we have a 13th silent. It would mean that maybe Starbuck and Gaius, not all Gaius, are silent. Maybe I'm going too far. Because this is only something that I'm thinking because of an instinct that I have that they lied to me since the beginning of the show. They are all talking about trusting your instincts, so why shouldn't I trust mine, you know? Sam, how he reacted when this 8 died, that's interesting. I said it since the beginning, I think that Sam can be the one of the 4, you know, who can accept his silent side the most, you know, who can accept the fact that he is a silent because of, you know, that ship, that silent radar recognizing him like that, like he felt like he was recognized for who he is. He had a fate now. I think that he said something like that. So being right there into that silent ship and helping that silent to find peace, you know, before dying, it's really like he's accepting that he's a silent and that he's a part of the silent community, you know, he's ready to accept that. I think that it can really be the one who can accept that part of him and accomplish his silent mission or something like that. We'll see. But what are they gonna do now? They're gonna jump back to the fleet? Or maybe they're gonna separate, some are gonna jump back to the fleet and Starbuck is gonna jump to find Earth. But of course what the hybrid just said disturbed us. Oh, I don't know. The hybrid, did she die or not? I really want to know more about the hybrids, you know. How they are functioning and who are they? Are they humans or are they silents? We know that they are connected, you know, to the ships, so each ship has a silent. There is something to work on right there, and I want to have more information about that, and also about the silence origin. I mean the human silence origin, because I really think that there is something to work on right there. Because of the theory that I just said, but also because of the fact that we need to know their origin. All of the narrative arc with the president, with Roslin, was interesting. It was slower, you know, than all of the other scenes which were happening on the silent ship. It was interesting, but it was not the same rhythm, so it was disturbing in my opinion. It was a way also to see that maybe the president is changing her way of seeing death, and by that maybe believing, you know, into one or another religion. It can be the beginning of something. That woman, I was so surprised to cry for her in just one episode, like we just met her, but she was a nice person, so that's why, you know, I was feeling sad for her. She's gonna die, Roslin, we know that. I was so surprised to see her. Without her, I didn't expect, you know, the writer to show us her like that. We had to see it maybe, to really understand, like I did during this episode, that she's gonna die during this season, really. And she's afraid of that, we saw that also during this episode. Because of her mother, she was a teacher and she died because of a cancer also. The story is really repeating itself. They're saying that since the beginning, they're right. I think that they're saying that the story is repeating itself much more about that journey and wars and battles between silents and humans. When they were... I can't remember when they were where. They said that... Yes, when they were on Kobol, they said that humans and gods tried to live together but didn't succeed. And I really thought about that, you know, like what happened on New Caprica. They tried to live together, humans and silents, and it didn't succeed. And like they want to the 12 planets, you know, when they had to leave Earth. They're doing the same, but it would mean that the Silent were created since Earth, the first time that they were on Earth. Do we have still people on Earth? I'm really going too far with all of this. I'm really losing myself. Like right now I have the emotion to pew, pew. I'm not just swimming in a swimming pool made of series and wrong series and right series, you know. I'm not just swimming into that pool, I'm really like drowning into that pool. I don't know. And I think that you, because of the fact that this show is out since a long time, you know the truth, you already watched the show. So hearing me saying all of that, I think that you are losing a lot, seeing me so confused, you know, and saying also so many wrong stuff. I'm sorry for that, I'm really sorry. But you have to understand that I don't have the answers about everything, so I'm trying my best. And sometimes I'm feeling more confident on what I say than other times, and today it's not the day where I'm gonna be confident into my series, not at all. Right now I'm like at 10% sure that something that I just said is right. That's how much I believe in my series today. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video right now and I'm gonna watch 2 more episodes of Battlestar Galactica. For you it's gonna be in another day, and for me in just some minutes. So it's all for you for today, and it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.